Running a retail business doesn't have to be so hard. Welcome to the Creative Shop Talk podcast, the go-to podcast for creative shop owners, studio owners, and independent retailers. I'm your host, Wendy Batten, retail business coach and mentor. Each week, I'll share simple, proven business strategies, inspiring stories from fellow retailers, and advice from industry experts. Together, we're going to work to find the success you want from your retail business with more profits in your till and a little more joy in your life. Hey friends, and welcome to the Creative Shop Talk podcast. Let's talk about change. Let's talk about all the professional pivot changes we've made over the last, I don't know how long it's been. It feels like it's been years. I want to share today, before we jump into the podcast, we are going to talk about the process that I use and I've been sharing with my clients, and my clients have been using to just put a pin in it for a minute and see what's going on in their business and see what's happening. And basically, we're going to talk about permission to pause and reflect and evolve and shift and make changes that are good now and for us. And we have that little bit of breather room, a little bit of space. And I know things are still shifting and changing and morphing, and they always are going to be in retail especially. But the landscape of the retail world has changed. And we've just been moving so fast at trying to keep up and trying to make sure we're doing the right thing at the right time for the right people in the right place. So today we're going to just take a pause. We're going to put a pin in it. We're going to talk about how to reflect on that and what's been happening. And that actually brings me to a change that we've made inside my company. Here around the Creative Shop Talk podcast, you've heard me talk about my programs and services. And one of those programs that I offer is my signature course, my very popular Retail Made Simple. We've put hundreds of retailers and shop owners, brick and mortar owners, through Retail Made Simple. We call it the success path, designed for independent shop owners. Really, it's designed for those who didn't get an MBA in retail management and want to just explore and grow their business and learn the business side of running a business. You know, we get to that point when we first open our business, we don't know what we don't know and we bootstrap it, but we get to a point where we want to elevate what we're doing, right? We want to elevate and just refine and learn those things. And where do we go? So I created this course 3 years ago. Seems like a long time, but 3 years ago it's really the course that I always wanted and I never had access to when I was growing my business, my retail business. So it's very unique and it's the first of its kind. Again, we've put hundreds of retailers through it. The thing with Retail Made Simple is that we've always opened it as a guided course twice a year, 4 to 5 weeks. We've guided retailers, done it as a course. What we've decided and what we have evolved into and what we've been listening to our audience, that's you, I've realized that retailers don't necessarily have a 4-week time block that they can sit down and do it when I have time to do it. We may not all have aligned at the same time. So people have been asking for some time. I've had a lot of retailers make suggestions over the years that we make this an evergreen product. So it's available all the time. And honestly, the truth is, through the pandemic and through everything, I haven't had time to sit down and think about how I could make that possible and how it could work on its own, kind of thing, right? So, but now, we've taken some time, we've reevaluated, we've added some great new information, because of course, retail is always changing, and we are making it available as an on-demand course for you. I'm listening, I promise. So if that's something you've been waiting for, I'm very excited to be able to do that for retailers now. It is available on my website, wendybatten.com/RMS for Retail Made Simple. And it's one of those things that's covering all of those little components. It's still 4 modules. We've kept it tight because I know you don't have a lot of time. I'm listening to that as well too. And I know that I just know I know what my independent retailers need. So we've kept it at 4 modules, and the main components, we talk about being boss, being the CEO of your business, like really stepping into that role. And what does that mean? Like being the boss. There's a lot around around that, right? There's a lot around the mindset and the habits and all of that that kind of goes together. And we try to condense that in. Is actually probably one of the most popular modules I get feedback on, that people say, oh, I didn't think I needed this, but I did. So I get that quite a bit. We have a financial literacy model, the money module, talking about the basics and, how to read a P&L and a balance sheet and all that stuff that we don't really dig into as much as we should. We have a module on retail marketing and sales. So that's a popular module, as you can imagine. And another one on planning and forecasting and time management. The four big cogs of running a retail business. So that's available now over on my website. It's at wendybatten.com/RMS, retail made simple. Pretty simple, right? And we've just opened the doors to it as being evergreen. I hope you'll dive in. If it's something you've been waiting for, if you like the content I share here, it is a sort of a deep dive of all of this content. We kind of emulsify, that's not the right word. We kind of put it all together into one course. We have put hundreds of retailers through the course. And I offer a refund, a money back guarantee if you don't like it. And I've never had anybody, not once in all of the years that we've had this course going, ever had a retailer not dive into it and, be grateful and find it helpful. And I try to honor your time in it. There's short bite-sized pieces. And that's what we do inside the Retail Made Simple. So I hope you find that helpful. But now let's jump in to today's podcast and let's talk about your business and how your business may have evolved or changed and grown. And I want to just give you some prompts and some ideas of how my team and myself and how my retailers are not reassessing and we're not redoing our whole business model, but we have a little minute here. We have a minute. June is a wonderful month to just take a moment, and not feel like we're on that treadmill that we've been on. We have Q3 coming, we have Q4 coming, and things are going to get crazy. This is a great time to just take a moment, take a pause. We are evolving, we are shifting, we are changing. We've been morphing and changing and shifting, and there's been amazing things happen, and there's been some hard things, and there's been some weird things. And I just wanted to bring this to light. I shared this thought with what I'm going to talk about today, with my Level Up Mastermind members. That's the retailers inside my mastermind group. And there was such great feedback that I thought I need to bring this to the podcast and just share with everybody. I think this might be helpful to you in more than one way. I really think that if you just pay attention today and just think about some of the things we're going to talk about, we're not the same business as we were in 2019, right? We're not, or 20. We're not, something's changed in our business. If you opened up during the pandemic, you opened up during weirdness times, and bravo to you. I have so many clients that opened up during COVID, and we kind of did a lot of things, and we've been doing so many things that we had to do, right? We had to do so many things over that period, like during the whole COVID period. So we've been evolving and changing, and that's part of our business. That's always going to happen. But I want to take a step back and think about what it's like right now, not to be playing dodgeball with all the pivots and changes that we've been forced to make. So it's a really great time, as I said, to just take a pause and a moment to think about our growth and what we're doing. The first thing I want to share, here's some permission to you to coast for a minute. And this was a big one for a lot of my one-on-one clients and a lot of my mastermind members. We don't always have to be in a chasing new, shiny, different things. And we have been for so long that here's your permission to just coast and rest and take a minute. If you're tired or if you've been working your butt off, this doesn't mean we're not still running our business. We're not still just doing the things we need to do, making our sales, doing our marketing. That stuff has to happen. But what I'm here to share and to maybe that you need to hear is it's okay to just take a minute to pause. we have all these people chirping in our ear maybe, and we might feel that weight. And when I say that, what I mean is, things we should be doing. I feel that weight. And I can only speak from myself and what I see from my clients. We feel that weight of, we should be doing this, we should be doing that. Oh, look what they're doing. Maybe it's, from friends, maybe it's from social media, maybe it's from your business partner, maybe it's from your life partner, maybe it's from coaches, maybe it's from podcasts and listening and all the things. And you're like, oh, I need to play catch up. It's okay. Here's your permission to think about maybe just taking a pause and not doing anything new right now. Let's just kind of maybe think about what we are doing and coast a little bit and take a moment, sit on your porch, have a cup of coffee, and just be okay with the way things are. I feel like we've been dodging and shifting, and I know things are still getting dodged at us. I know things are still shifting. I know things are not the same, but let's just put a pin in it and be okay with pausing just for a moment. If that's what you need, if that's where you are right now and you need to hear that, or if that just evoked some kind of emotion in you right now, I want you to just be okay with it. And then here's some things to consider when you're taking your pause, or when you're taking your break, or when you're even just reassessing your business. Let's talk about a few things to consider. This is again how I came up even with what I'm doing in my business, and this is what I'm seeing work with a lot of my retailers. Let's talk about your customers. Over the last few years, your customer base may have changed. So has your customer, your ideal customer, as we say, has that changed? Has there been like a shift in who you serve? And maybe not always for the best. Maybe there's people you're serving and your clientele has morphed into a bargain hunting clientele, or maybe it's morphed into a clientele that's really hard to please or really annoying. And y'all know what I'm talking about, right? So let's take a minute and think about that. Who do you want to serve, and what problems do you solve for them, right? And a really great way of looking at this is to flip the script on that and say, who are you not for? Who are you not for? Who do you not want to serve anymore? Who's not a good fit for you? So thinking about that along the lines of your customer base can really kind of change things. And again, a lot of us have done things and changed, and been doing things, or maybe we haven't had a chance to think about this for so long because we've just been so on survival mode. And maybe not even survival mode. There's so many retailers I've been working with that are just so busy. We've been so busy, just keeping the bills and all the things, right? So maybe you haven't had time to assess your ideal customer. So take a minute and think about that. The next thing I would like to, that I go through and I would like to share with you, is the thought of resisting the low-hanging fruit. So that comes from the mindset of, we got to make some money, right? We got to make the bucks. We got to make, so we're doing the quick and easy things sometimes. Or maybe, we've been doing some things in our business that feel yucky or heavy, or selling some products, maybe our services. Let's have a little look at what we're doing every day and what we like to do. Like, we did things and we made changes in our businesses. Sometimes, not everybody. Some of you you're like, nope, I'm doing it all right. I love what I do. But are you still jazzed up and feeling great about your business? Like, do you still love all of these products and services and your employees? Like, are you still jazzed up is the word I like to use with that? Like, are you still excited to go into the shop? I know you might be tired, but are you still excited? Because that's a whole other podcast, being tired. But, your products and your services, what fuels you and makes, feels good. And just having a little reassess at that, and is that something that, is there something that you can change there? Or maybe you want to change and you've just not had a minute to do that. And this is a good time, again, to think. And what I mean by the low-hanging fruit is, I have a couple clients that have recently made some changes to product lines because it was just easy to keep that product line there. It was just easy. They didn't really like it. They didn't like, it wasn't the biggest seller. It was just easy. So, it was working and it was just easy. So they're changing their product lines out. So they're changing their services out. So I want you to think about that. So just think about resisting the low-hanging fruit, and in conjunction with that, your products and service suites, right? Are you doing the things that light you up and jazz you up? For me, I am super jazzed up now to be offering Retail Made Simple as a full-time available anytime course, because now I know I can help more people. So I really did spend some time thinking about, the right products to serve at the right time to the right customers. And that's what I want you to do as well too. Again, assessing your customer base and looking at your product suite, your products and your services. The next part is, I've just recently heard this framed this way, but I love it so much. I'm going to share it. And I don't know where it comes from originally. And if somebody knows, let me know. But what are your rules for life right now? I love that thought, because I call it a thrive list. You've heard me say that before. I call it, what are your non-negotiables right now? Rules for life. When I think about my business, when you think about your business, when I work with clients, we've not had a lot of luxury about what we want from our businesses or what are our non-negotiables over the last couple of years. We've also, there's been a shift. We do have more rules to life, I think. I feel like there's a shift in retailers understanding that they can have a life and see what their priorities are and not just be in the shop all day long, 24/7, just not taking a paycheck, Like, that's really not a great, healthy way to be. So what are your rules for life? Maybe it's not bringing your computer home at night, or maybe it's I'm not going to work Sundays anymore, or whatever. And I say in this season, like right now, and what are your rules of life right now? What are your non-negotiables for your business? And then I want you to go back up and I want you to look at the products, the services, and the people that you're serving and make sure that they align really well with you. You deserve to have a business that jazzes you up, lights you up, gives you a pay, and follows your rules of life. We do. We deserve a life like that. You're working really hard. You're building a beautiful business. You deserve to have all those things in your business. And it's totally possible. I see it all the time. The thing is, we haven't been taking those pauses. We haven't been taking those breaks because we've been we've been busy, haven't we? It's been busy, right? So let's take all of that and let's take a minute and not think about growth and change and all of the things. So looking again, what do we want from our business, and not necessarily growing. And what I mean by the growing thing is, like, we don't have to be doing all kinds of new things right now. Let's just figure out what we're doing. Maybe that's in your social media, that's in your marketing, maybe that's in something that you just want to refine. Take a minute now, and instead of growing and changing and doing all the things, let's refine what you're doing. Let's enhance it, improve it, and elevate what you're doing already and make it really good. Get your systems in place. Get your team really good now. Let's spend some time just getting things good. So I have a couple of retailers that have gone through a lot of big growth in the last little while. And like, the growth is just coming. It's just growth and growth and growth and busier and busier and busier. And, whatever that might be. Maybe you added an e-commerce site, or maybe things are just crazy. Your shop is busier. What would make what you're doing already better? Can we just take a minute? Let's get this good. Because if we try to build on sand, if we try to build on shaky ground, if we try to keep building on all these, wobbly things, it's going to crumble. So I want you to take this little bit of time to, like, again, pause and reflect, and, your permission to pause here right now and make things better at whatever level you're at, whatever those sandy things, those wobbly things, because we've been just building and building and building in the last couple of years of all of this stuff, and we've been changing and pivoting. So what really needs to be reinforced and shored up? I don't know. Do we say shored up? I don't know. What foundational parts of our business really need attention? And it might be the money side. It might be the financial side. It might be, your team. It might be your ability and habits might need to change. That's one thing that I've had to do, is learn to make sure that I'm paying attention to my habits and, the things that I need to change as well too. What habits do I need to put in place? So let's take some time right now, just like put a pin in it, take some time to pause and like really clean up these wobbly bits in our business. Make them better, make them awesome, upgrade them. Let's upgrade all of the things. Let's make our team the best team we can. Maybe we need to get a POS system. This is the season to do that, my friends. This season, this month, this next, 8 weeks or whatever is a really great time to be making any really good upgrades to your business. Maybe any real, and what I mean by that, any like foundational changes, learning new things, changing our mindset on things, maybe addressing some SOPs, some standard operating procedures, maybe learning a little bit more about our numbers, maybe really nailing that in. Maybe it's getting better operations in our warehouse so we can get ready for what's coming or what's already coming to your shop. Maybe it's, enhancing your marketing or your sales processes. Just take a minute and be where you are in your business. Be where you are in your business. And know that this is a great time and a great month to just start, evolving. Like, we have to make the changes now. Now is the time to do it. Make those changes, evolve to a better business, and just, again, your permission to pause and do this stuff and not feel like you need to be hustling and grinding and doing all kinds of new things. So there you go. I hope that's been helpful to you. Again, the things to consider is just assessing your customer base, resisting the low-hanging fruit, like looking at your products and services, understanding what your rules of life are, what are your non-negotiables, and then pausing for that growth moment, like taking time to get it all right, get it all good, and take a breath, my friend. We often say, I often say, and we've heard this many, many times, what got us here won't get us there. We know that. We've been talking about that. And really the inner work that we need to do as entrepreneurs is the only way we can grow our business, right? We have to do all that inner work. We have to acknowledge, and we have to do this. This is part of our job as the CEO, right? So put our egos aside, put anything aside that we need to, and just sit down. Again, sit down with a cup of coffee on the porch. If you're listening to this podcast, maybe go back, listen to the questions again, grab a piece of paper and start asking yourself, be honest. You deserve to have an amazing business. You deserve to be selling and to people that appreciate you, and you deserve to be offering products and services that light you up and align with you and your values and the way you want to be, the way you want to show up in your business every day. And the people, you get to work with the people that you want to work with. I promise it's really cool when you start really deciding and knowing that that's possible for you, getting really strong on your business development, your marketing, and all of that is really going to help you feel that power, feel that grace, and you do deserve it. So thanks for listening, my friends. Again, you can find out more information. If Retail Made Simple is something that you think you might want, you can check that out at wendybatten.com/RMS, Retail Made Simple. And or reach out. Programs and services are available. We have the Retailers Inner Circle to support you with a community. And I love DMs, so check it out over on Instagram. Jump over to Instagram. I'm at Wendy Batten Biz, and let's chat. I'd love to hear from you. So I hope you had a takeaway from today. I hope you're doing amazing. I hope June is an amazing month for you. I hope it's the month you get to pause and reflect and, just grow as a business in your own way. Grow in your mindset, maybe taking that break that you might need to just reflect on all of this. Have a fantastic month, my friends. Well, have a fantastic month, but I hope to see you next week here on the podcast. It's a pleasure and a privilege to have you spend your time and your attention with me. Do not take this lightly. Thanks, my friends. Have a great week. We'll see you next week. Well, that's it for this week's episode of the Creative Shop Talk podcast. I'm so glad that you're here to join us this week, and I hope you found value in what we're sharing here. I want to remind you that our website has all of the show notes. You can find it at wendybatten.com/podcast. Everything that you need to hear about today's podcast is there. Also an opportunity if you need to reach out to me. If I can support you in any way whatsoever, please feel free to reach out. Make sure you join our Rockstar Creatives Facebook group. We will continue the conversation over there weekly. So thanks for joining us. Please leave a review, subscribe if you can, and never miss an episode. We hope to see you back here again next week. Thanks, my friend. Have a great week.